excited to have FoXxy in the house. She is going to talk about her life, her story. Sometimes we don't hear the story behind the women, and it is Women's Month. Although every month should be Women's Month, I'm excited that we have this month to celebrate all the wonderful women in our community, and FoXxy is definitely one of them. So I'm going to save the heat for my conversation with her. Spin a little bit of music for you, very little, and we're going to bring her on.
That's a jam. Hello, 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 everybody. Where'd she go?
Okay, I'm back. So I'm just talking.
Okay. I'm like,
hear me?
trying to tell you, mute.
I'll start that all over again. People just laughing. That's okay. I love you anyway. They just laughing. I can't hear a word she's saying. Anyway, what I was saying was, it is Women's Month, and I think, Lee, can you hear me now? All right. So it's Women's Month, and we just want to celebrate the women who, in my opinion, don't get enough shine in our community. I think that FoXxy is just amazing. She's very generous and sweet and kind, and a badass DJ. Let's keep it real. She's hosted the event at Pershing. What was the name of your event? I'm sorry. It was at the Trip on Pershing.
Oh, that was our. I miss
that too.
We call those Sunday groove sessions, and
Sunday groove
sessions. I would say that was the hottest Sunday night for 2 years.
That was a nice club. If y'all missed the Sunday groove sessions at Truth, you missed some. What happened to it?
You know how things just fizzle on out. Just time to go. it's kind of rough when you're working with
Yes,
different business owners.
I hear you.
So yeah.
I hear you. I totally understand. So we're going to jump right in. Hey, Chip, we're going to jump right in, and I want to talk a little bit about, your story. First of all, let's check in with you. How are you feeling today?
I am feeling good. I'm feeling FoXxy.
That's what's up.
You can see, hey, got that cold weight on, but I still kind of hurt. But yeah.
Anybody else got COVID weight? I got COVID weight. I don't know if you can tell.
All in my face.
I don't know if you can tell. Let me try to do a little profile for you. But that's like, there's at least 7 more pounds than it was, when I was in the studio. That's okay. I'm working out. You know what I got me today? I got a rowing machine. And I don't know. I'm going to take these off. I don't know if anybody else has a rowing machine, but it is a workout. Like, you can spend 10 minutes on that thing, and I am sweating. And I like it because you feel like you're sitting down and you're doing something. But we got to get back. We all got to get back in shape because summer is coming. And I bet you there's going to be a lot of events.
Yeah.
There's going to be a lot of events.
I hope to have some fresh air then. Need to get outside.
Well, listen, let's get into it. FoXxy, what's your story?
No. Somebody said that I'll cuss them out in a heartbeat. Yeah, I will.
Why are you cussing my sister out? What's up with that?
Yeah, I will. No, you know what? Being, and you know too, being a female in this male dominant space, it's like you always feeling some way you gotta prove yourself in. I don't feel like I have to prove anything because I feel like I give opportunities to people that other people are not giving opportunities for. They not finna mess with you.
Right.
So, hey, come over here and don't even worry about that mess over there. Come over here and you can, build your brand, do what you do. But I don't know. I ain't even trying to figure it out no more. I just continue doing what I'm doing.
But you're still trying to help build people's brands. And that's one of the things that I appreciate you. And I see you doing that. You just recently were asking people for mixes, to put them on.
Yeah, not just the fact of that, just the fact of I think people, even though they might not be a part of the station that I'm trying to build, and they might not have a show on the station, but I feel like I'm kind of to a little bit trying to bring back the radio aspect of it all. And like on the radio back in the day, there was mixes playing all day on holidays. Yes. So I feel like on holidays we should have a marathon, a music marathon, and you just listen to good music all day. And so yeah,
that's what you're trying to do.
Yeah.
Sounds like you're getting it done.
So far, so good. So far, so good.
All right, so let's talk about Little FoXxy. So in Vintage House, we like to understand the origins of everything. And I want to understand, what's your story, lady? What
my story?
I know you're Chicago, and I know you're South Side. I know you went to CVS.
Yeah, my story.
Let's start before that. Where'd you grow up?
First of all, for those people who don't know me, and I get a chance to see what it is. When I came back outside, I might as well say, I started promoting stuff like that. But where I originally come from is Gucci Promotions. I was Miss Gucci. You might as well say Miss Gucci was their cute little mascot.
Now talk about Gucci Promotions. That's a Chicago group.
Yeah.
Where did they do their parties?
Founded by John Hunt. He was the head man in charge. He was the man with the plan, and we just carried it out, promoting high school parties, young adult parties. Back when I came in like end of 86, beginning of 87. I went to CBS for 83, 84. And 84 to 86, I was down south in Texas. My parents, they was tripping on me because I got into the music and I was in the music. So my parents were very strict. They was always trying to lock me up, but you can't lock me up. I got a little crazy. Got that first year at CBS and that music, and I just had to be at all the parties. So that's how that went. And at that time, that was like 83, 84. So that around it, what, I was about 14.
Mhm.
And I got to go to the power plant twice. Uh,
You can claim
John,
that. That's
look,
great.
John and Ferris snuck me in. I was like, yeah, so I was in there like, yeah. So I got to experience that. I did. I got to experience that. But that third time I was trying to get in, they was like, oh no, you don't have an 18 and over ID. Nope, they wouldn't let me in. So we all had to leave.
Wow.
So I got
Let me
two
ask you a question about
times.
that. 2 times is good. You get the bug. Did you get the bug from going to the power plant, or were you a radio person first? Like, we've had this discussion. A lot of folks who became
No,
DJs.
I was a radio person, but I was also outside in it at the parties, at the
Okay.
soccer, at the
Yes.
playground,
Gotcha.
and I yes, very young playground, Lorraine's, and
Really?
yeah, because I was
You was.
hanging out with, because John was already out of high school.
Mhm.
See, everybody that I hung out with was already out of school. So I got to experience a lot. And then my parents was like, you got to go. You gonna finish school. So they sent me down south with my grandparents for 2 years, graduated high school, came right back, and went right back to the scene, right back to the music.
Right.
So once I
It
had
makes
my
sense.
daughter in 92, that's when everything just slowed down for me, and I became a mother and just raised my daughter. But as soon as she got into her first year of high school, I was right back out here.
Oh, wow.
And so coming back out here, I, John was doing his own thing then, just living life. The fellas that were growing up and coming up in this and starting out in this, they grown men and they doing their thing constantly still with the music.
Yeah.
So I just came back out here and I went to a couple of parties and I was like, I had the bug again. And so then it went from just going to a couple of parties to just ideas. I'm like, okay, I am going to start my own promotion. So it was Miss Mimi Promotions. So back then, we're talking about 2007, 2008, just recently, um, just just throwing little parties and hosting other people's parties and promoting their stuff too. They make flyers. I'm out here at the parties. I'm passing out their flyers
Hmm.
and hosting their parties, and then from there it went to, that's how I got into the radio part. I got to know Lloyd Dev and he brought me in and we did a show, me, Nosha Love, and Mike Hott. We called it the Deep Diss on Tuesdays at 8 o'clock, and it was great. And then after about a year doing that, we, that was like 2008, 2009. And I just woke up one day and I said, I'm gonna do my own show, because at that time we had found Stick Cam and we just played around with, a whole lot of us. We just played around with it. But I was like, I'm gonna do a real extra show on it. And so I went on there and I taught myself everything that I know. I am self-taught. There is nothing that I can tell you. If you ask me, well, who are your greatest influences? Nobody.
Well,
I
okay.
mean, I'm
Let
not
me
saying
interrupt.
it like that, but
Well, let me
I
interrupt because you went to the power plant. You say you was at
okay,
the Playhouse.
we'll go right
You was
back
at Club
there.
Rays. So you was getting some influence. You had to be absorbing some of that.
Okay, you're right with that because of the music. Because
Right.
I knew the music and I had already been collecting the music.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm saying, as far as somebody teaching you how to play, everybody has somebody that taught them how to play. You know what? back in '08, I used to hang out with Glenn Underground a little bit, and
Man,
he used to teach me a little bit, and I got a little discouraged. I was like, yeah, because he was like, blend that one song. I want you to blend that one song backwards and forwards, backwards and forwards, backwards and forwards. And I was like, I don't like this. This how y'all learn how to play. I was saying to myself, I don't like this. He was like, okay, now you're not ready to blend. I wanted to blend songs. I was like, I know I can do it. Just blend. He was like, one song, backwards and forwards, backwards and forwards. And when you
was
get
it the
there,
same song, like the track?
yeah.
Okay, just I get it. That
Well,
was good.
was it the same song or was it two? No, I think it was two songs.
Two
It was
songs.
two
Okay,
separate songs, and I had to blend them backwards and forwards.
just two records, and you just had to play with those two until you got it right.
And I was like, after
That's a
that,
good lesson for people trying to learn, though. I think Glenn had it right.
So I was like, yeah. And then one day I just said, forget it.
Dwayne,
I'm gonna teach myself. But I didn't get that bug until I started doing the internet shows.
mm-hmm.
So like I said, back in the day with Gucci, just watching the fellas. I used to watch the fellas. Like I said, I already knew the music. I already uh was collecting the music, had a lot of the music already, just I was out. My first love was promotions.
I want to ask you something. You said something that I think is really important. And when we try to make distinctions about like women DJs, house music community versus men, I think you might want to turn your volume down on your phone because that's where we're getting an echo. But the you paused because you had a child, and the
Right.
child took precedent, and you needed to do that, and then you waited several years before you came out to the scene. I don't know that that's the same story for a lot of our male counterparts. Does having a child slow them down like it does many women?
Mm-hmm.
So I would say that's a bit of a disadvantage. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, yeah, yes, and no. You know what? I could have kept things rolling. I could have kept staying.
It's hard to do it with a baby. It is very
you
hard.
know what? For me, I had family. They say it takes a village, and I had a
Absolutely.
village. And so I still could have did different things then, but I just fell so in love with my daughter. I was like, no.
It is.
Yeah.
And I don't know. That's the thing. I think if there's other women out there who are watching, I'd love for you to chime in on this. Does having children, having babies specifically, does that kind of derail your musical career if you're in like house music, your artistic expression, if nothing
I
else?
think I think for the men, not so much.
Right.
For us ladies.
I can speak for myself that I did residencies up until about 2005, where you could find me someplace every week, and I
Mm-hmm.
stopped doing them a long time ago. And it was when I started getting serious about children. My daughter was born a couple years later, but then after that, I was like, all bets are off. I can't do both of these things. I can't do them well anyway. Well, okay, Jola said absolutely not. I don't know what you're referring to, but I probably agree with you. Okay, you've
Right.
been out there here a long time. Yes, when you have a chip, yeah, it's no longer about you, sis. I totally agree. Oh, that's what you were referring to, Joe. Yes, it is not. So listen, I appreciate you telling your story. Now I noticed from your Facebook profile, stalking you just a little bit, that you were at CVS and you were at Wells.
Yeah, Wells was down south,
I know. Oh, down south in another city? Oh,
Texas.
see, I was thinking Wells, like,
Little bitty town. They used to make fun of it. It was population 900 and something, something.
so
And they said when you driving through, if you blink, you'll miss
that's hysterical. So
it. Yeah,
did you get sent down south? Was that what happened?
yes. I mean, I got sent kicking and screaming.
You was a bad
I did
teenager.
not go. I did not
You
go
didn't go
right.
quietly.
I did not. And I begged my mother for a whole year, Mama, please. I was like, Mama, please let me come home. I promise I'll be a good girl. Please. Mama, please let me come. She was like, no, you're going to graduate. And the only way you're going to do is down there. And so being down there, you know, I got sent mixtapes and stuff. I would play those mixtapes till they popped. Those people down there could not understand disco. Oh my God. I was trying to teach them the music. I was trying to teach them how to even jump double dutch. They didn't even know how to
They didn't
jump.
know how. What part of Texas were you in?
I was in a small town called Wells. And in a community, the community was called Sweet Union, and that's where my mother is from. She's from Sweet Union.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like maybe 3 miles from the little town Wells.
Okay.
And it's very small, and it's like right in between Houston and Dallas. It's like 100 miles going either way, north or south of what's that? North is Dallas and south is Houston. So I'm right there in the middle between the two large cities. So whenever you want to go to the city, you're gonna travel at least 100 and something miles.
Wow. You were out in the sticks. So
Yeah.
you got bit by the music when you were 14, 15.
Mm.
A little too
Actually,
much.
yeah.
When I was a teenager, my mom called it disco fever. You got that disco fever. She was mad. Ooh, I had to sneak out too. I think I would have got sent down south if there was somebody to send me to. We didn't have no down south people, so everybody was living in Chicago by then. But no, and then you came back and you got bit again. So
Got
you
back.
got bit with Power Plant and some of those other clubs. No, Power Plant was back then. That was before you went. You were a kid.
Yeah,
So
that's before I went. So I
okay.
got all of that, and then the stories that I was hearing while I was down there, it was like I was missing everything.
What were you missing? What were they
I was
telling you?
missing the music box. I was missing the Pleasure Dome when they opened the place. When I got home, they had just closed the Pleasure Dome down, and I had all the funny stories with the Pleasure Dome.
What happened at the Pleasure Dome?
You know, just the different stories, different people coming, the partying, the arguing, the fights, the girls. Yeah, you know, being around a lot of guys, you get to hear the stories about the girls.
Of course.
So those girls were kind of wild back then.
Well, you know, they're a little bit wilder now because now you go out and you don't know if you're gonna come back alive. It's just sort of tragic.
Yeah.
Like people are scared to like gather together. You know, just here in Chicago.
Yeah,
So fight.
you just don't know. I mean,
75th and Exchange. That's Demetrius is
that's terrible, and I won't pass there. No. Oh, you're talking about 75th and Exchange. Oh, I'm thinking of what happened last Saturday.
Yeah, on South Chicago, South Shore, South Chicago, rather. What you talking about, Demetrius? What's on 75th and Exchange?
No, oh yeah, that Pleasure Dome. Yeah,
that Pleasure Dome.
He had it open in '86.
Hey, Kevin. So okay, so you came back. What I want to jump to is DJ career. You were a promoter. You're out there. You're hustling. You're helping. You were with John Hunt, doing Gucci production. Miss Gucci. What did it mean to be Miss Gucci? Were you the only one?
Yeah, Miss Gucci was just that. I said just a mascot. You don't like when I say that. I'm the cute girl that represents that represents the promotion. But I was out there with them, zero below weather, putting up posters, passing out flyers. We going to what? Because I was already out of school. So we going to, oh my God, 5, 6 schools a day, passing out flyers. We try to get them first thing in the morning when they coming in the building. We try to get them when they coming out of the building.
And then you had to hit all the parties too.
Yes.
I tell people, we were just talking about that. My, a good friend posted a picture on Facebook with a bunch of flyers from 1981, 40 years ago. There was a battle of the DJs in March 1981. This is Rory. And Rory posted these flyers. He's like, I can't, it was 40 years ago. that we were doing this at Sours, and he had them all pristine, and he did some really cool mock-ups.
Kept
But
everything. I kept everything. My mother threw it all
oh,
out.
cool.
Oh, I was gonna die. I thought I
Somebody's
was gonna
got those flyers. That's why I say, listen, if you're out there and you're listening, share your flyers. If you're not afraid to lose them, post them on Facebook. I mean, that's a way I've been able to retrieve a lot of stuff that I even lost, is that people held on to them and they put them out there. So FoXxy, it's very possible that those same flyers you were passing out is in somebody's basement right now. So,
I would like to. I would love to see some. I wish John would have saved a lot. He did have a
yes.
few that he sent me a while back when we did the Gucci reunion 2 years ago, which turned out very nice. That
That's
would be something that I would love to see, at least a reunion once a
yes.
year, to just bring back all the old people that used to come out to the parties for us.
Right. Hey, Chip. Hey, Darlene. Hey, what's going on? A lot of ladies tuning in. Appreciate you. Thanks for the love. Thanks for the love.
Hey, darling, Lady D.
DJ, Lady D in the house. You got to stop when she scrolls through. You got to stop. You got to recognize.
Yes.
That's right. That's right, sister. So, okay, we're talking about FoXxy's career. And I hate getting into like the women versus men. I'm not even going to do that because I think we've done it all. Yeah, Vince, 40 years ago, it's a war. Remember that? Uh, there's so much to talk about, like what's happening now. And I want you to tell us about your radio station, because I think what you're doing is unique, and you own it. You own it, you control it, you curate it, and it creates a practice for you that I think a lot of folks could benefit from. So talk about how you got involved with that, and what benefits. You were just saying, "Oh, I'm tired. I don't know if I want to do it this Sunday." But like, what's the expectation? Talk about your radio relationship.
Oh God,
Hey, Eric Kane.
my relationship with Just Music Radio is it's like my man. I eat, sleep, drink, and excuse my French, fuck Just Music
Woo!
Radio.
Good thing we're not on WNUR right now.
That's why I said, excuse my French. I do that with my mom too. Like,
Okay.
I'm ready to cuss. I feel it coming out. Excuse me, mom. No, how all of this came to be was, like I said, like back when I started the promotions, Miss Mimi Promotions in 2007, just doing little bitty parties. I was promoting the shop, was doing the parties at the shop on 71st and Crandon, in the basement of the beauty salon. And then I was hosting different stuff. And like I said, we all fell on the stick cam, and we was always playing around with it. So from Chicago House Radio, I decided to do my own and produce my own show on stickcam.com. And I needed a title in Just Music. And I wanted it to be spelled differently, J-U-S, not T. People be putting J-U-S-T-M-U-S-I-C. You don't never see that. I just don't understand why people write what they want to write when they're trying to tell you something, when they're trying to promote something. They always come up with their own spelling. Just like my name, FoXxy. I am triple X, not
Triple
one
X.
X, not 2X. I'm 3X. And how I got that name, the story with the name. So I love the music so much, and at that time I was more into the disco and the rare grooves. Not saying that stopped, because that's haven't, but I was really just listening to a lot of it, just feeling it, and going to the parties, dancing. So I had this little dance move that I did, right? And so the guy that I was dating at the time, he was like, Mimi, you look like you do that little dance like Pam Grier do in Foxy Brown. And I'm like, get out of here. And I hadn't seen the movie in years. So I went and found the movie and watched the beginning of it. And I said, oh my God, I didn't even realize it. And I was like, okay. So he started calling me Foxy. He was like, oh, you Foxy, you Foxy. And so Greg Gray was like, you sexy when you play your music, Triple X. And that's where that came from. So he just started calling me Triple X. It had nothing to do with FoXxy. So I just combined them together and boom, here I am.
There you are. There she is. FoXxy Triple X. Remember the three.
That's not, so
I thought it was Triple X. Like I was gonna ask you about it, but I was like, I don't know. It might have like some kind of sexual thing. Like, remember when something was Triple X? Like that used to be a thing. Am I making this up, people? Like, wasn't Triple X like this is really, really, really
yeah,
racist?
really, really X-rated. Like, um, I
Say
think
your name dropping with Greg Gray. What's up, Greg Gray? Love you. Greg
that's
used to do all my sound many years ago when I was
yeah, that's
early
my.
90s.
I have a great, great, great respect for Greg. Um, like I said, how I met Greg was through Cyber Jam. So, like I said, starting the show on Stickcam,
Mm-hmm.
thousands of people coming to watch little old me. So the way that I had it set up was I was just gonna talk, let people know what happened throughout the city, or letting them know what was going on in the city as far as the different parties that was going on. And then I talked about whatever I went to and my experience with the party. And you just never knew what I was going to talk about, what I was going to say. And then I would always have a guest DJ. And so I was all over the place every Monday night, 7 o'clock or 8 o'clock, at somebody's house, somebody's studio, and they was doing my show. Now, how I started playing the music, I gotta put that on Gene Hunt. Went to his house to do the show. So in between intermissions, I wanted to have some music playing, while I'm talking. And I would ask the DJ, I would give him the CD and I'll say, look, I want you to play 1, 2, or 3, whatever song that was on the disc. Gene was like, I'm not playing your stuff. I'm like, come on, Gene, what's wrong? I'm not playing your stuff. You better put that in the dish yourself.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, dang. So that's how I started. I started first, messing with my own intermission music, just putting it
Makes
in and
sense.
letting it play, and so
More name dropping, Gene Hunt. Go ahead. We love
so
you, Gene.
that's how that started with that. And so I
How
would
did you
just
know you were good at it? Because it's not. I know DJing may be a little easier now technically than it was in the early '80s, or even early '90s, when you didn't have as much as good as technology. How did you know you were a good DJ? How did you know this? You must have known because you're pretty bold. You motivated. I watch you DJ. You're very confident. Some told you you were
I'm just
good.
not scared of nothing.
So that
Nothing
was an
makes I never
extension of
get nervous.
your
I never get nervous.
really.
I just do it. I never knew if I was good or not. I just know that the music that I was playing, I liked it, and I knew other people liked it, and I just went with that.
So you don't get nervous. You don't get nervous when you spin. Have you
I
ever
don't
done
get
a battle?
butterflies. I don't
Have you
feel
ever done
sick
a
to my
battle?
stomach. I just feel like, let's do it. Let's go.
Have you done a battle?
No, I haven't done a battle, and I would not be scared to do a battle. I would do
Okay.
my best. I would do my best. That's all I can say. I have never been one to come out and be like, oh, when I play tomorrow night, I'm
Yeah,
no,
yeah, yeah. You're
I've
not
never
that.
been
Yeah.
like that. Never at all. Never been like
I think everybody should do a battle. If you're a DJ and you're watching this, look, I don't need to do any more battles. I feel like I have battle scars, but
that.
but back then everything was a battle, and
Yeah.
it's fun. And the reason Lauren is saying let's do a WNUR battle in the studio. Okay, I am down for that. So if you want to be in our WNUR battle, so this is not going to be like let the songs breathe. This is going to be more like hot mixing because it's a skill to get in and out as quickly as possible. So I think when the studio opens back up, we're going to do a battle of the DJs at WNUR. Everybody's going to get like, we're going to do a rotation. So you could do like 2 tracks. You get in, you get out. All right, who's down for it?
Oh, sound good.
All right, that sounds good. But
Yeah.
reason I mentioned the battle is that it really is it is exhilarating to be in a battle. Whether you win or lose, it's just fun. And we did a lot of those. Vince McFarlane, you remember how many battles? Like every party was a battle. There'd be like 10 DJs and you had to battle. And my heart would beat so hard, you could literally see it. Like my friend told me, he was like all the way over there and he's watching me. He's like, I saw your shirt doing this. Because what's up, Otis Mac? Gotta say, hey, no, what's up, Heavy Diva? Thank you for watching, Otis Mac. If you don't know,
I'm thirsty. I want some water, some ice. I think that's
right. That's right. Countless battles. Countless battles.
Yes.
So I suggest we do one of those. So let me ask you. Can I ask you a personal question?
Sure.
Are you in love? Woo! She started blushing. I think what's going on?
No, yeah, I'm in love.
Oh, okay. Can you talk about it? No.
Wait a minute. I was trying to do something, but my legs got caught up in there.
Yeah, she is blushing. Okay, now she's leaving. Okay, I should not have asked that question.
This is what I'm in love with.
Oh, yeah. She's in love with Just Music Radio. All right. If you're watching and you're in love, and you're not ashamed to talk about it, I want to see it in the chat. Who's in love today? I'm in love. I'm in love with my beautiful Simone. Who's in love? Who's in love? Come on, Carlos Myers, Chip Davis.
I'm in a deep like.
Okay, a deep like with someone.
Yeah.
Okay, so you keeping it. Is it complicated?
No.
Okay, that's good. Whenever somebody say it's complicated, I'm like, how complicated can it be? Either it's on or it's not. And if it's complicated, in my opinion, that means it's not. Because it shouldn't be that complicated. Love should never be that complicated, people.
No, deep
I'm
like
telling you now.
Be that complicated either.
If you're in a relationship and you're talking about it's complicated, run.
Yes.
All right. So I want to talk to you about something else that is really something that I saw when I was stalking you a little bit. I think we share a guilty pleasure. Love
I'm trying to figure out what it is.
Love After Lockdown.
Oh, I love that show.
Is it Lockup or Lockdown? After they've been locked up.
It's locked down, I think. No, it's locked up. It's locked up.
I am like so obsessed with this show. I don't know. I just found it. And I love this Love After Lockup because I'm like, if you fall in love with somebody who is in prison or in jail and they get out and you think that somehow your relationship is going to be magically perfect, you have to be on drugs. Is it just me? Is it just anybody else watching that show? Anybody else? Like you really think this person is going to come out and want to stay locked up in a relationship with you after they've been locked up? Because I wouldn't. Anyway,
I can't stop watching. I gotta watch it every Friday night. I gotta watch it. And okay, so did you watch it last week? Because that was the last. They finna bring in a whole new set of people.
Oh goodness. Yeah, I got some catching up to do. I just started catching up. Like I think finished what was like in the can. Yeah. It is a crazy show. Dwayne says.
It is. A couple of them did make it though, which I was glad to see that. They really made it.
It happened to you and you got married. Okay. Miko said, listen, I'm not saying that it's impossible. What I'm saying is sometimes people's expectations are very unrealistic. Like I'm watching this. I know it's a reality show. I get that it's a lot of drama and acting, but some of this is not acting. Like those people have seriously been waiting for folks to get out of jail and thinking that they're about to have this serious relationship and that it's going to go somewhere.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he said it happened to him Was it somebody that he was with already?
Okay, we need to know Miko.
Look, cause I love a good storyline.
So Miko, I'm glad that you're
the storyline, Miko. We're not saying that, but I do love a good storyline.
okay. So Miko, we need to do a reality show about your relationship because you're proving me wrong.
That's beautiful.
7.5 years.
7.5 years married.
Yes.
Beautiful.
I listen.
See, people like you.
Yes.
I still got hope. I still got hope.
Amen. And you know what Lauren is saying is a really important point. She said anyone who gets on national TV to discuss the relationship is crazy anyway. Okay, you might have a point there. So maybe the TV part is what dooms the relationship. I just find that okay. So for anyone who was locked up, and I know lots of people who've been locked up and they came out and had relationships. My point that I'm making is that the people on the outside have these very unrealistic expectations often of the people who are on the inside. And I'm basing this on some of these crazy characters, like this woman who literally she took away the guy's keys and his wallet because she's like, you can't go anywhere. And I know it's drama, it's TV, but I don't know. I think some of it's real. All right, so we're going to get off the guilty pleasure because we don't have a lot of time left. But I want to talk about the house music community. When you hear the term house music, Mimi, FoXxy. Look who's showed up. Now we got to do some more bowing. Jesse Saunders. Thank you for tuning in. I'm in love with Jesse too. Oh, my boyfriend. So when you hear the word house music, what do you think of when people say house music? What comes to mind? You are a funny lady.
Okay.
Start with one word.
Oh God.
And if you're watching, what comes to mind? One word to describe house music.
I'm gonna say what everybody else saying. It's a feeling.
Okay.
To me, music is a feeling. I just can't. House music is music, and all house music, as they call it, is not house music. It's just music.
Okay.
That's why I love that title. It's just music.
Just music.
It's dance music. It's just music, and we love it.
Jesse comes to mind.
All kind of music, and they call it house music. And I'm still trying to understand that to this day, but it is what it is.
I love it.
Because that's not what we called it back then.
Freedom. What did we call it back then?
We just music.
All right, so we're gonna do two minutes on origin of house music, and I'm doing that because my good friend Jesse is on, and Jesse did create the first pressed house music track that became known as house music. And three people who I like to sort of always give credit to are Jesse, Leonard Roy, and Chippy, because when we start thinking of house music, and I have to say it, Jamie Principle / Frankie Knuckles, because when I think of the house music sound, like distinctly Chicago, I think of Your Love. When I think of the first house music record, I think of On and On. When I think of the first time I heard somebody say house in a song, I think of Chippy. And when I hear somebody talk about DJs talking about house music who claim that title, I think of Leonard Roy. So those are the four folks I give props to. There are many, many more who were in that cohort, but those who are come to my mind. And what I think about is Chicago. That's my word for house music, Chicago.
Okay. Yeah. Because if you can go anywhere in the United States and you tell them where you came from and you say, I'm from Chicago, they immediately going to think Chicago with house music.
Wow.
Did you see the little post? There was some post on what was it, Paradise Garage?
Yes. Let's talk about the Paradise Garage post. So Paradise Garage, and they're trying to be provocative. So they're claiming house music came from New York. What do you guys think? What do you think, FoXxy?
No. Not at all. I was I was a little munchkin, but I was there. And no.
Were you at Paradise? No, you weren't at Paradise
No,
Garage.
no, we wasn't Paradise, but it, I would, Paradise Garage. I'm trying to let me see. How can you who could you compare that to with a place that was here within that time? Because okay, they had their Paradise Garage and we had what?
We had the warehouse.
Warehouse.
We had the
We had
power plant. Yeah,
so same kind of feeling,
yeah,
same music, played differently, different DJs. Um,
yeah. Here's
Right.
how.
It was
Go
just
ahead.
the fact that, like you say, people like Jesse Saunders, people like Chip E, they was in these studios or their studios
Mhm.
and or their homes, and they was sitting and they was
They
behind
were
them
making it.
808s, nano nans, battle. Yeah, I know about the drum machines because I used to get quizzed on them when I was younger. They were, oh my God.
Yes.
I used to
There you
get
go,
quizzed
Jesse.
on them.
Right on.
They will play some play like a little track or something, and they would say, "What drum machine is that, Mimi?" And I had to remember what sounds was in what drum machine. Like I
Wow.
always knew 808 because of cowbells.
I love it.
Oh, that's 808.
I
How you
love
know
it.
it's 808? Cowbell.
Love it. Well, if
So
you haven't seen that Paradise Garage article, I guess, or just it's a
I read a
thing
little
on
bit of
Facebook.
it to the
Yeah, I
point
got sick halfway through. I'm just like,
it
listen,
got
that's
boring.
disco. It's disco and R&B, and you played it in such a way. My thing was this: what
Exactly.
Paradise Garage did is what I'll give them credit for is that they're one of the first clubs, one of, not the only. There was LA, a lot of folks were doing the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Starting large underground black gay clubs.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, from which we emulated that in Chicago. Not that, I mean, there were smaller clubs. There was lots of clubs in Chicago, lots of bars who were doing it. The warehouse
Mm-hmm.
was the first kind of like expansive experience. Where you
Mm-hmm.
have this wall of music, and you have Frankie and his train, and his DJs even before Frankie, but Robert Williams and what he was trying to create. That was unique for Chicago, and that's why it drew so many people. And then you had people like Jamie Principle, Louis Gomez, Greg Loftus, Jesse, Wayne, all those folks who got inspired by the warehouse and start creating their own music, which is uniquely Chicago, right? With the
Mm-hmm.
808 and the 909s and this, that, and the other. So anyway, that's good. That's good. So we are so close to our time already. Before I let you go, because we're coming up, we're going to have um, our some great music played by a cool up and coming DJ. But I'm going to let Justin introduce her. But I want to ask you this: what is your hope for the house music community in Chicago? We're coming out of a pandemic. Hopefully, we're all going to be able to see each other real soon. I cannot wait to see you all. I really can. What's up, Lorna Davis Robinson? This is my colleague and friend and my old boss, Steve. Your bosses be watching these shows.
Hi, Miss
The Brooklyn
Lorna.
Fan Club is at the
Hi,
house.
Miss
You
Lorna.
gotta watch what you do because your bosses be watching.
mm,
Uh,
mm. Glad I'm my
I
own
love
boss.
it.
Look,
We're all good. We're all good. Thank you, Melody. Thank you so much. You got to be on the show.
Melody.
I'm gonna call you after this because I want you on the show before this month is over.
Thank you.
Music community. Before I wrap up,
What was that? I didn't hear
what
you.
was your hope? She's like, I thought you were absorbing.
That was I
What's
was
your hope for
writing
the house
Melody.
music community?
Uh, even for myself, even with Just Music Radio, I feel my hope is that there's some sense of unity.
Mhm.
All this division, even with me, there's a big division. Honestly, a lot of people do not really gravitate to me. I don't know what that's about. I am here to give another platform for people. There's it's real territorial.
Mm-hmm.
And it shouldn't be that way. If you hang out or you work with a certain group of people, you are not allowed to work with another group of people. I'm not like that. Just Music Radio is not like that. This is just another platform to add on to the other platforms that you have. Add on to build your resume, to build your brand. That's what I'm here for. I'm here to help people. So with the mentality that I have, I wish that for other people.
That's
That's
good.
what I wish with that. More unity, more, people working together, something different, you know.
Yes.
That's what I wish for.
We want to have unity. We want to have love and respect for each other.
Exactly.
And you know what? When we do that, we're going to grow this thing. We'll stop complaining, and we will manifest all of our wildest dreams. If you're in this community and you're feeling stuck or stymied, don't worry about it. Just give love, receive love, work together. You know, just do it because you love it, and you will manifest all of your wildest dreams. I really believe.
Just love it. Just love it.
You got to. All right, so listen. Hey, what's up, Drea? Drea. I like to call her Drea, but she's Andrea. So thank you for thanks for watching, everybody. I'm going to bring on Justin Alexander, who is going to tell us what's happening next. What's up, Justin?
Hi, Justin.
Hey, everybody. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Hi, everyone. Next, we have the Spotlight After Show. We have an amazing collaboration this month for Women's History Month, and we've been going strong all month long, celebrating. And on the Spotlight, we've had all female DJs with our collaboration from Babes Only Fun. First, we had DJ Momami. Then we had DJ Jillian X, and tonight we have DJ Cash Era, and it's just going to be nothing but what you guys were talking about: positive vibes, great vibes, and right here we have DJ Momami.
What's up, DJ Momami?
Hey, y'all! Amazing
Thanks for
talk,
coming
by the
on.
way.
Yes. So we are here tonight to bring nothing but exactly what you guys were talking about: positivity, happiness, good vibes, great music, great house music, and just a bunch of abundance. So
wonderful.
Yeah. Well, Mommy, do you have anything for us that you want?
Yeah, well, tonight we have DJ Cash Era, and I'm so excited because DJ Cash Era is a near and dear friend of mine. And, like FoXxy, what you were saying, I think in the house community, unity between, different generations, between different communities, I think is so critical. And that's why I'm so excited and honored that Babes Only is able to partner with the Vintage House Show this month.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Good stuff.
Sisters are doing it for themselves with the assistance of Justin and our men friends who support us. So thank you. All right, so following our show, you're going to switch to Twitch at the Vintage House Show, right? I get it right there?
Yes.
I will be there. Let's meet each other in the chat, and let's give these DJs some love. We want to, and Corky, I hope Corky's listening because he's always saying, you don't give the younger DJs love. We're all about giving everyone love, especially those who are really starting to make a way in this crazy city. So watch us. DJ Momami, thank you for joining us.
Of course, thank you for having me.
Of course, thank you for having us. And our guest for the night, FoXxy, you are FoXxy. I love you. I appreciate you. And you will come back and join us soon, okay? We're going to do it again.
Yes.
In the studio, WNUR. Don't forget about the battle. You gotta be ready. Let's see if if I can make you nervous.
I'm ready.
All right, everybody. Well, have a great week. We will see you next week here back on Vintage House. But remember, right after the show, switch to Twitch.
Head over to Twitch.
Love everybody. Love. Yeah.
Take care, everybody.
Bye, everybody.